We all yearn for peace in our relationships. Many times we think that peace comes from finding the right person. But more often, peace begins when we become the responsible person in the relationship and focus the right way. Now, being responsible doesn't mean being responsible for your partner, no, but being responsible for you. Now, peace is not the absence of problems, no, it's the absence of emotional noise. The noise reduces when awareness increases. Now, let me tell you something you need to know. Every adult is responsible 100% for their actions and emotions, and you are 0% responsible for your partner's behavior. Should I say that again? Every adult is 100% responsible for their own actions and emotions. But for your partner, you don't have any responsibility there. What does it mean? It means that you cannot influence what happens with them, right? Now that means that you control your own reaction, you control your boundaries, you control your communication, you control the meaning you give to the things that happen around you. But awareness turns your confusion into clarity, and then clarity turns everything around you into peace. It creates peace around you so that you begin to feel peace even when things are not looking good around you. Now, peace begins with a decision, not with a change in your partner. So stop waiting for your partner to change. Start becoming the partner that you want to have. I want him to be like this. I want him to be like that. I want her to behave like this and all that. Become that person you want him or her to behave like. And that gives you the peace that you are looking for. When you make a clear internal shift inside you, you will notice that your tone will change. Your reaction will slow down. Your boundaries will become clearer. And then your expectation becomes healthier. Your communication becomes more mature. Peace is a personal decision, not a partnership accident. What does that mean? It simply means that you decide by yourself to be at peace and not waiting for the reaction from your partner or waiting for it to come accidentally. No, it's something that is planned. It's something that you process and make happen. Right? Now, love at most times, we say that love is good. Yes, love is very, very good. And it has very beautiful intentions. But belief determines your behavior. So, love says, I want to be at peace. But there are some unexamined beliefs that are inside of you that says, you caused my reaction. The reason I'm reacting the way I'm reacting is because of what you did. That is caused by an unexamined belief. So, what you begin to now do is play blame games. And blame game is the fastest way to destroy peace in your relationship. Now, here is the upgrade. Cultured belief is what everyone needs. Because cultured beliefs don't blame anyone. They express themselves in ownership and accountability. Ownership is, I know that I am responsible for my own reaction. I am responsible for the things I said, no matter what you have said to me. While accountability expresses itself in 4 R's. I'm going to take you through them one after the other. The first R is that you recognize what you have done. You recognize that there is a problem. Identify the behavior that caused the conflict. See it without excuses. Don't try to say, but you did this. No, don't do that. For example, tell the partner, I raised my voice and that escalated things. I did not raise my voice because you were not listening to me. No, you shouldn't say that. What you should say is, I raised my voice. Make sure you recognize what you've done. And then the second R is that you must take responsibility for your actions. Acknowledge your part without blaming their action. For example, my reaction was my choice, regardless of what you did. It's not because you screamed that made me scream back. No. Why I screamed back is because there is something in me that I am not yet in control of. As simple as that. Then the third R is that you must show remorse. You need to show remorse. Show genuine emotional awareness, not drama. When something happens, you must be genuinely sorry. For example, I am sorry for how I responded. I understand it hurt you. Simple and short. Not trying to act drama with it. And then the fourth one is that you now begin to repair what has been broken. Take practical steps to avoid repeating that pattern. So for example, you say, next time I will pause before reacting and communicate differently. Now let me tell you something that happens. By the time you are able to do these 4 R's, which are under accountability, you would notice that you would turn your relationship into a classroom rather than a battlefield. Did you hear that? Yes. You will turn your relationship into a classroom rather than a battlefield. Why a classroom? The reason is because the worst mistake you would make, or the worst assumption you would have, is that you now know your partner. It's a lie. You don't. Why did I say that? I said that because your partner is a dynamic being. What does it mean? It means that he or she is ever changing. The she you knew some months ago is not the same person with the person today. That version of your husband or your boyfriend 2 years ago is not the same person today. So you are always getting to learn and getting to know the person. That is why your relationship needs to be a classroom and not a battlefield. So the question you might ask yourself is, how do I evaluate myself before evaluating a partner? You must have to ask yourselves these self-evaluating questions. The first one is, do I communicate or do I react? Very necessary. What am I doing? Am I always reacting or am I communicating? I know they say that action and reaction are equal and opposite. Yes, they said that. But that is for things that don't have mind. You have a mind. So why wouldn't you change it so that your action and reaction are not equal and opposite? Because you would have to pause and think. The second thing you must have to ask yourself is, do I listen to understand or to defend? A lot of us do this. All we are just doing is listening to know the next thing to respond, not to understand and see things from the other person's point of view. You know what listening is? Listening is switching positions with the person. Yeah, that's what it is. So for every time you listen to your partner and you don't switch position, that is, come to the point where they are while they come to the point where you are, you did not listen. You just listened to respond or to defend. You did not listen to understand. Now the third thing is that you ask yourself, do I create peace or am I just demanding for peace? You come back home and everything you're screaming is, this woman doesn't give me peace, this woman doesn't give me peace. Hello, the question is, how much peace have you created? This man, whenever he comes in, it is chaos all over the place. How much peace have you created? It's about you, not about your partner. Number 4, self-evaluating question you must ask is, do I take responsibility or do I explain away my behavior? At every point, you have a reason for acting the way you did. No matter how hot your partner feels, you explain it away, and after the explanation, you now go like, okay, if it hurt you, sorry. That becomes very flippant and becomes something that doesn't have any form of value or weight. The 5th question you must ask is, do I set healthy boundaries or do I live in silent resentment? A lot of us don't communicate. All we do at every point is resent the other person. Go into this quiet storm. Nobody's talking to each other. For 1 full month, the both of you are in the same house. Nobody speaks to the other person. That's not right. Set the boundaries. Now, if you cannot evaluate yourself, you will misjudge your partner at every point. That's the truth. If you can't evaluate yourself, you will always misjudge your partner. So what are the practical steps that you must take to land yourself and your relationship at that point called emotional stability, aka peace? The first thing that you must do is to pause before reacting. Like I told you before, they said it, yes, action and reaction are equal and opposite. But it is for things that don't have brain. You have a brain, you have a mind. You must learn to pause and then get things right. Because pausing gives your brain the time to choose clarity over chaos. The second step to achieving emotional stability is that you must name what you feel. Putting a name or a language to that emotion reduces the power. And you must have to do that. So for instance, instead of saying, "You are stressing me," why don't you say, "I feel overwhelmed"? Because what you are receiving as an input is triggering something that is within you, that is that you're overwhelmed. That is why you're thinking that she or he is stressing you. No, the stress is not coming from outside. It's about something that is unsettled within you. That's what's causing it. So you must have to name it. Then the third step is that you must separate the person from the trigger. This one is so important. Most times when we quarrel in our relationship, we begin to do you against me kind of quarrel. That is the worst thing you would do. For every time that there is a quarrel between the both of you, you must have to understand that it is the both of you against whatever challenge you're facing. I'll say it again. Always, it is the both of you on one side, the challenge is on the other side. So, the challenge could be from your history. Yes. The challenge could be from those uncultured beliefs that you still have. Yes. The challenge can be from anything. That you guys don't have money. It could be the challenge. But remember that at every point, it is not you against him or you against her. It is always you both against whatever challenge you're facing. That's the best way to, first of all, maintain peace and then form a formidable force that can defeat whatever it is that is bothering you. The fourth step in creating emotional stability is that you must set clear boundaries. Now, boundaries are not walls. Boundaries are like your traffic lights. You know, traffic light doesn't tell you that you can't cross a road, you can't pass through a road. No, what it does is that it tells you red, so you can wait for another person to have a green and pass. That's what it tells you, right? So you must set clear boundaries in your relationship, that when it is red at this point, it must have to be green at the other point. There can't be two greens, if not there will be a crash and a clash. So it must be a red and a green, or a green and a red at every point. Set clear boundaries. The fifth thing that you must have to observe to achieve emotional stability is to communicate with calm certainty. Make it a rule. No raising of your tone. Low tone at every point when you're communicating with each other. And then your communication must come with clear mind. There's something I practice. Sometimes when I see that my mind is so muddled up, I go quiet and then go to type. Yes, I send messages. Sending messages makes me, delete and say it in a better way. Delete and say it in a better way. Instead of saying it as I feel at that point, because you might cause more damage than what you're trying to repair. Then you should send simple messages. Whether you are speaking or sending a message, make sure it is simple. Make sure it is something that will be well understood immediately, not something ambiguous. Right? And then the sixth one, which is the final one, is that you must have to practice emotional hygiene. Most times what causes the chaos we have in our relationship is simply because our relationship has a lot of dirt scattered in different places. Our minds have a lot of things that are clogged up in it. You must have to learn to take a rest. You must learn to reflect. You must learn to journal. That is to write some things down. It clears your mind. It's a powerful way to clear your mind. You must learn to be quiet at some point. You mustn't respond to everything. You must learn to be self-aware, to know when tempers are beginning to rise and go quiet, or say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry is one thing that can deflate any kind of built-up emotion. Emotional stability is a daily discipline, not a one-time prayer, right? So, in conclusion, peace is not found in people. Your peace is found in the clarity you have, one, about yourself, and then the clarity you have about the other person. See, it takes clarity that I have for myself to be able to communicate clearly to the other person. And the same thing happens from her own end to my own end, right? When you take responsibility of your emotions, you take authority over your peace. I hope you've learned something. My name is Okwi, the Wealth Maestro. I am excited that you joined me on this edition of Ace with Okwi. Follow me on all social media platforms at Okwi W Maestro as we continue to strive to make it and become more excellent in everything we do. Cheers and God bless you.